What's up, guys? Just got back from a little 2-year-old birthday party with my woman. One of her cousins' kids' birthday party outside at the pavilion at the lake. Steaming hot. Oh man, but had a good time. There was a little girl there. Um, I don't think my lady even knew her, but she was the daughter of one of the couples there, and we were playing frisbee outside. And the little girl came over. She must have been about 3 or 4, and she had these big Coke bottle glasses, but she was really cute. And we were playing frisbee, and she wanted to play frisbee, and I was throwing already with another smaller girl about the same age and size who wanted to play too. And this first girl was like, every time she would throw it like this behind her, and no matter what I said to her, she just kept doing the same thing. It was like she wasn't even hearing me. But then this second girl came with the one with the Coke bottle glasses, and she's like, "You want to show me? I want to try." And so like every time I would show her, she would get really zoned into it. She was locked in like a fighter pilot, and she was like listening to what I was saying. I was explaining to her and progressing with her and moving farther back and showing her how to turn her body and when to let the frisbee go and hold it with one hand and all that stuff. And she was listening to it, so it was really cool. I don't have kids, but I would imagine if I did have a daughter or a son, it'd be really awesome to have a child like that who just like she was just locked in. I mean, I've never experienced anything like it, but I thought it was a cool thing. And I guess kids, it's like you're used to small kids not being able to almost control themselves. You know what I mean? They're just like all over the place all the time when they're that young. But she was like wanting to learn and listening to what I said and actually doing it. And she was good. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I would tell her what to do and how to make it better the next time, and she would do it and actually get better. So that was really cool. I don't I don't know if I'll ever have kids. I'm going to be 40 in a couple months, so I think about it sometimes. I'm not sure what's going to happen when I get older. If I don't have kids, if I'll regret it. I never felt like I wanted kids. I know there's some people who know right from the beginning that they want kids, and I've never felt that way. My feelings have changed over the years, but I wonder sometimes if I never had that feeling because I didn't grow up in the kind of environment where it was like it made it seem desirable to me. I wouldn't characterize my family unit growing up with my alcoholic father and my mom who was always working to support. Like I wouldn't characterize it as, you know, I guess maybe a psychologist would probably describe it as dysfunctional, but it wasn't like always bad. Most of the time it wasn't bad. It wasn't tight like it could be. My father was abusive at times, but most of the time he wasn't. Did a couple things that messed me up, but most of the time he was just like subpar. You know what I mean? Could have been more, but wasn't. And my mother, she was great. She was nice. She could have been more. She tried her best. When I was young, I rejected a lot of her attempts to involve me in stuff, and so she didn't really push me too hard to like make me do stuff. She didn't have that masculine like you're gonna do this or else, no matter what. And that's where my father should have stepped in. And that's a whole other thing, the discipline thing. But so I don't know if that like we weren't tight as a family growing up in that way. So maybe that's part of it. Like maybe I didn't see how great it could be to have a functional family unit, and then that would make me want to have kids when I got older. It could not be not that, I don't know, but the more I straighten out my life now, the more like I think I'd be okay with it. It still kind of feels like it's not something that you know I want, I guess, deeply inside of me. But also, if it happened though, I think I would be thrilled and ecstatic about it. Before, I feel like if I thought about having kids, I feel like I wouldn't be ready. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm into drinking too much and drugs and this and that. I couldn't even think about that from that perspective. And even before I had my issues with substance, I was just wandering. You know what I mean? I didn't have direction. I didn't have a path I was going in. I was working and stuff, always been a worker. Never really got into trouble, but I also just didn't have like a bigger vision for my life. And so how could I think about having a kid when I don't even have a vision for myself? You know what I mean? So it was just a cool moment, I think, today at the park with that little girl. Yeah, so anyway, you guys know I've been learning the guitar a little bit, and I've been practicing chords. So let's see if I can get better at these chords. Ready? This is a G, learning to curl my fingers, and oh, I tuned it different though, so it's not going to be an actual G. I don't know what this is, but it's in like drop, it's in a sharp, D sharp tuning. And then the C. I don't know how to hold the pick either. E minor, which is not also not. And that's it. And then I'm learning finger, like I guess it's an exercise for learning finger dexterity. So you start on the bottom and you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just go up the strings. My fingers are getting a little bit better at being flexible, but damn, this I can't get this one right here. It's so hard. The G, I can't even do it. But yeah, that's it. So anyway, what do you guys think? You all have kids? I'm sure a bunch of you probably have kids. Were you ready to have kids? Did you always know you wanted to have kids? My best friend Derek, he's probably someone I would consider the closest thing I would have to an actual male role model in person, like in real life. He happens to be my best friend, but he's also got his head on straight, and he's a provider for his family, and he's been married for, I think 20 years now, and he's got 5 kids, and he just does stuff right. He's just responsible, I guess, and that's the main characteristic, I think, probably, or at least one of the fundamental ones for someone that you look up to as a man, as a masculine figure. So I take inspiration from him. I don't necessarily look at him as a father figure, but I get advice from him in areas that I know that he knows more than me about. And he has said that I think he's always wanted to be married and have a family. So I have another friend, and he said the same thing. I don't speak to him as much anymore, but he said the same thing, that he knew that he wanted to like marry this certain girl and then have a family. So it's like, and he came from a really messed up. He was an adopted. He was in one of those, what do you call it, foster home, and his foster parents were abusive, and they were one of the ones who would have him only for the money, and they would abuse him and stuff, and he wanted a family. So it's like, I don't know, some people just want that. So you tell me, are you like that? Do you know that you want a family? Or if you have one, did you always know? Or are you more like me, where you're kind of on the fence about it, or didn't think that you were good enough, or probably wouldn't do a good job as a parent, or just kind of indifferent or apathetic about it? You can let me know. Come join me at theforgeformen.com. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're up to this weekend. It's a beautiful weekend. It's hot as shit out here in Missouri, but it's going to cool down soon. Trying to be outside and enjoy the weather before it gets cold in a few months. But let me know what you're up to. Let me know your thoughts. Theforgeformen.com. Join me over there, and I will see you there. Bye.